Okay, so basically, I was not able to upload for a long time because I had zero time and had a job plus school, and I just wasn't able to work on anything. But it's fall break and I'm out of a job, so I will probably just try to crank out as many of these as I can during fall break. But don't be surprised if I get demotivated. So thanks for understanding, and sorry for the very infrequent uploads. Okay, so I'm going to be doing Finn Zamora's request on the origami minigun video for the SCAR L. Okay, so for the origami SCAR, you're going to need an 8x8 grid, and we're just going to collapse it down into the back and forth, water bomb base, just like all my other guns. And I've messed up my recording, so I'll just start from here. Plus, it's pretty easy to gather where this is from anyway. You just fold it in half, and then fold in half again, fold in half again. That's how you get the lines for it. And then to get the diagonal lines, you obviously just fold diagonally. So, yeah. And that's what the finished product should look like. Give or take a few quality. Okay, so what we start doing now is going around the edges of these lines where each square is, and you just start collapsing it down like that. And then once you do it like that on the first square, flip it over and bring this edge to this second square inside and start doing the same thing, just collapsing it around. This is going to give us the base. So once you do that, flip it around, bring this edge to this square right here, and just do the same thing. And then you want to bring it, you kind of want to, instead of collapsing it like that, it's better to do it like this, and then squash it like that, just so that doesn't get all crinkled in the middle, because that can make folding it annoying. And you do the same thing, but the other way. So you flatten it down like that, and now it should be a lot easier to push it together like that. And then that's the basic gun base. So to get the front part right here, we're gonna pick any side, it doesn't matter, and then just kind of this center line right here, we want to push in all the way up. Well, I guess actually, you take these two lines right here, and you bring them all the way up. So, just like that. And then what you're going to do to make it all collapse is you, instead of having this be a straight line right here, you make it a diagonal line like that, and have both of them converge onto this center line. So, should end up like that. And then collapse one side down onto it, and collapse one side down onto the other. So now you've gone from this, like that, you pulled it out, and now you've done it like that. And make sure that the diagonal is kind of sloping upwards instead of like upside down like that when you make these folds. So that's the front of the gun. The back of the gun is more complicated. So what you need to do is this back point right here, so flip it like this. Take this line right here and kind of bring it all the way to here, and you just kind of fold it like that. You make a zigzag fold, and you kind of want to bring this whole like box thing, I guess, this whole edge over one, so that this is now a square edge and no longer a pointed edge. So you go from this to that, and then you should be able to, right here, this edge will come up, and that's fine. That's where the rear sight will be. And then this right here will be the magazine and handle. So then what you want to do is you want to flip it like this, and then it's kind of the same thing. You bring this edge right here, and then you kind of bring it so that it comes down to this line right here. And then you push this diamond down and push this diamond out right here. And it's just kind of the same thing. So that you get this part right here will be the magazine, this will be the handle, and then this will be the rear iron sight. And then this will be the stock. So now what you want to do is kind of fold these forward, and then you want to make sure that the magazine is on the bottom when you do this. I guess actually fold this back right there so it folds in half easier. And you want to lift it up like this and fold it so that where the magazine will be, it'll fold down right here. That's where the magazine will be. And then after you do that, this is the basic like starting point for the SCAR. So from here we'll be just shaping everything. The magazine, I just bring it down around right here, around 1 unit square. And then what you're going to do is do a zigzag fold. It doesn't have to be that precise. Just do it like one here, and then fold it back on itself like that, so that it's like that. And then fold it back in half. And then what you do is you take this part right here and you pull it out like that. And then that can be the magazine, and you can like pull that forward a bit if you feel so inclined. And then to make the handle, what I just did is I pulled it forward like this, and then I kind of pulled it. I did a little outside reverse fold, angled back like that. And then what you do from there is you kind of just fold the sides in like that. Sorry, it's kind of thick. These are some kind of thick folds, so you might have to watch out for rips and tears. But bring it like that. And then if it looks a little bit too straight, you can just like push it like that. So that gets more of that angled look. And then for the rear iron sight, what you do is you just kind of bring it up a little bit like this. Try to make it as straight as possible. So like that. Bring it up from the top like that. And then what you want to do from here is you want to fold these sides in right here. Just kind of fold them in like that. It's kind of thick folds, but it's not too terrible. And then you bring them into the center like that, and then you fold it back in on itself. That's the rear iron sights. So now for the stock. The SCAR has kind of a weird shaped stock, so what I actually did here was you do another zigzag fold like this, and then this, so that it looks like that. And then you fold it in half. And then what you want to do is actually bring that down a little bit, but you don't want it to curve down too hard, so you might have to make the zigzag fold pretty small. So maybe like that. And then for the stock, or the back of it, you want to fold a large part of it down like this, and then kind of push it with your thumb like this, so that it kind of collapses back inside like that. And that was kind of a drastic one, so I'll move it back a little bit. But yeah. It's kind of got a curved top but a straight bottom. And don't know how I got it to look so good on this one, but I think maybe I just need to make this one less curved. And then, yeah, just fold that up. It's kind of messy, but you do that, and then to give it the shape, you kind of push, you open up right here and you push in this part right here a little bit, so it's just a small diagonal inside fold, and just kind of tuck it in there. And that's how you do the stock. And you might be able to change it around, like maybe move this zigzag fold up a little bit, but yeah. So next is the front. So for these, you'll actually be taking these, this is the top iron sight. You'll be taking this triangle right here up top and just kind of tucking it in like that. And you'll also do the same thing on this bottom flap right here, taking that triangle and just tucking it in. And so now what you'll be doing is you got to make sure that this folds back like this and then comes up. So don't make sure it's not facing this way, because if it's facing this way, it makes it harder to make the barrel. Make sure it's folded this way, and then you kind of fold it in half upwards again. And then for this, it's kind of the same thing as the rear iron sight. You fold it in half. You fold this part in, like right there, and then you take this part right here on the other side and just do the same thing, so that they're both folded in like that. And you just tuck it in on itself. And that's a little bit cartoony. It's really tall. It looks like the frickin' Fortnite scar. So it's kind of nice. It's also a good idea to like fold this down a bit before you tuck it in. So like that. Trying to get it, the fold is really weird. And the paper is really flimsy in this area. But yeah. It's just like that. And then that will make the front and rear sight. And then for the front handle, this one's a little bit harder, but what you basically want to do is fold it straight down. We'll fold it back like this, and then you fold it down straight as you can. And then what you're going to be doing, it's kind of illegal. It's an illegal fold. It's really weird. But you kind of pull it out like this, and you're going to be... you have to do this, and it kind of warps the paper a little bit, but you fold this in half. This way, and then the other way, like that, so that it folds that in half. And then what you're going to be doing is opening this up right here. There should be a square outline right there. You're going to be making mountain folds along those lines. And then it should, if you did it correctly, this is totally optional by the way, tuck back in without being as thick. So that's how you make that front handle. And then for the top, or I mean for the barrel, it's just another zigzag fold like this, and then this. So it'd look like that. And then what you're going to be doing is taking where this zigzag fold is right here and folding in that corner on both sides. It might be a little bit hard on this other side right here, but it should be fine. And then what what you're going to do is bring this edge in where that corner kind of meets, and you fold that in with the corner. That corner is just a guideline as to like where the edge of this front part right here should be. So you just kind of fold it in like that. And then when you fold it in back on itself, it should be about half as thick. So there's that. I need to freaking fold that again. And then this front tip right here is still a triangle, so where the outermost fold edge right here, you kind of just fold it like that, and then you can on that fold line you can just tuck it in. So there's that, and there's still obviously a little bit of fine tuning and shaping that goes into it, like make that front handlebar go straight down. It's best if you take this front barrel and you kind of fold it in half like that, just kind of brute force it. It's not really a real fold, but it just makes it look a lot nicer. And then kind of like wiggle it back and forth after you fold that in half again. So yeah, and then you just kind of keep shaping it till you get what you need. So it's basically the gist of how you make the SCAR.